Alright, there we go. We are live. Yep. Take these. Probably can hear me better without the earbuds, but yeah. I'm just live right now, sitting in my room. I don't know if anyone's going to join at this hour or not, but I'm just going to wait until someone does join. Okay, hey baby, hey. So I know we just got done talking and everything about, about 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 those fucking idiot relatives of mine. I wouldn't even really call them fucking relatives, but you know, it's really fucked up, how you can say you're family and that you got each other's back and whatnot, but then you throw people out like a bad habit because you're so fucking greedy and all you care about is the money. And money should never be an issue when it comes to family. Family should always have each other's backs. But if you're a greedy fucking cow like Peggy and all you can fucking feed off of is money, and that's all you can use someone for is the money and not for the simple reasons of being blood and looking out for your own, but only doing it for your own fucking self-centered ways, is just really fucked up. And there's always two sides to one story, but done in accordance, I'm sure that accordingly that whatever bullshit she spouts to her fucking daughter, we all know is gonna be full of shit lies. But whatever. I mean, it's really fucked up. It's really fucked up how you can do someone the way the way that I've been done and the way I've been treated throughout my time by people who say they claim to be there for me and have claimed to be there during my toughest days or my toughest hours, and to sit there and to only do it out of the benefit of the money and the greed it's just fucked up, man. It's fucked up to be greedy and be so self-loathing like that. Sorry, self-loathing like that. To only sit there and act like you care and to get money off someone and suck them fucking dry of it, and then when you're done having it your way, throw someone out like they're fucking useless garbage. And it's just, blood's always thicker than water, as the old saying goes. A leopard won't change its spots. A person like that will never change. They'll always be a fucking greedy fucking fuck as long as they're breathing and living still on this earth. That no matter who the person is, if a person has always been a tightwad, always been a greedy, self-absorbed, self-centered piece of shit, no matter what, a person doesn't change their stripes. You know, a person of that caliber will always be a greedy, self-absorbed fuck. All the way until their timely death. When they pass away, they'll always be a self-absorbed, self-entitled fuck that will never change its pattern. A person like that will never change. And it just makes me laugh when you got a person who, like fucking like Peggy, sitting there telling everybody, that she's doing it out of goodwill or whatever, but we all know that's far from the fucking truth. We know she's not doing it out of the goodness of will of being there for a relative who's in need of help. We all know the bitch is on for it for the money. She's in it for the money. You know, money has always been an issue with her. She sold off her first fucking son for money to inhabit her fucking addictions and shit. Like when she sold Travis to fucking Dorothy back in the day. It was all just to support her habits. It wasn't because of the fact that she couldn't provide for him. It's that she wanted to only provide for her bullshit, self-absorbed addict ways, because she's always been involved in drugs. She's always been a neglectful parent. She got one of her kids taken away from the fucking state. Her fucking oldest daughter, who is an idiot like her, still has something to do with her after the fact that she pretty much has been neglecting her whole fucking life. Throwing her out time and time again, back and forth with her and her fucking dad. And then look what her dad did to her. He ended up fucking molesting her. Which, sucks to hear that, but her daughter should have been smart enough and wise enough after that fucking Peggy sat there and neglected her. She only thinks of herself and not her kids. Exactly. But she's only got 2 fucking incompetent buffoon kids that have something to do with her. And I don't get it. She sold Travis off when Travis was a kid. And then when Lacey was raped by her fucking dad. And even before she was raped by her dad. Peggy never stepped in and fucking was there for her. Because I remember, my mom remembers, and we can both tell you from our experiences, let alone with Peggy, we know that every single time that Scotty didn't bring the kids, that Peggy wasn't crying because she wasn't getting to see her girls. It was because she wasn't getting to see enough Scotty. It was all about her, making it all about her from fucking day one. She left those kids alone with a pedophile while she went and found herself an apartment. So she abandoned those fucking girls of hers. And now that those girls are adults and they're all fucking grown up, the only one that has any fucking sense, any fucking brain molecules left in their body is fucking Summer, because she's the only one with a backbone who said, yo, fuck this bitch, I'd be better off in foster care than I would with her bullshit neglecting ass. But for some fucking reason, Lacey's got a brain of fucking rocks. She's not fucking smart, she's stupid as fuck. The things that she said to you were not only offensive in their own right, because of her fucking sitting there making you look like you're some kind of skank of some kind by sitting there nodding this way of thinking, oh, okay, well, you must be just some random girl that's staying here taking care of my mom and this is my cousin. Like, what kind of person does she take me for if I'd be just loving on some random girl who's taking care of my fucking cousin? Like, first off, Peggy doesn't need any kind of help. It was pretty obvious you were my girlfriend from the very fucking get-go that Lacey walked in there and saw you with me. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to fucking put 2 and 2 together, realize, okay, that's a couple. And then the funny thing is, it's just like, she does this very, like you said, weird, timid stare, and yeah, she asked you stupid questions, and well, her boyfriend, he wasn't a bad guy at all. I mean, I didn't see any problem with him. Just, typical country redneck type of guy, but he didn't do anything to offend me. He didn't come off rude or as weird or anything as much as she has. And sitting there asking you all these dumb questions, asking you if you had any kids. And then I said, well, obviously by me, who else would you have kids with? And she gets all quiet all of a sudden every single time I talk. And she's a fucking teeny bopper trying to see what things she has in relations of common with you. And I'm thinking, you wouldn't have anything in common with her because you're fucking 24 and the bitch, well, you were 24, you're 25 now. This bitch is in her early 20s. We're both older than her, okay? I'm 24 right now. You're 25. This bitch is probably like 21 some shit. We're way older than her by age. But she's of this demographic of being like a preppy, normie kind of bitch who's like very, what's the word am I looking for? Very, very dumb and naive when it comes to asking questions or getting to know someone on a personal level. She's just really fucking weird. The things that she was saying to you and the things that she was asking you. It just was very off kilter. You don't, as soon as you walk in someone's house and it being your mother's house, see your cousin, your older cousin there, who you once, I guess, somewhat looked up to, sitting there with a fucking girl and thinking, oh, is this just some random slut off the streets that's staying here with my mom? No, bitch, it's my fucking girlfriend. Do you think I'd be just randomly loving on some random chick? Like, if that was us walking through the door, I mean, could you only imagine if I would have asked her, or asked him, oh, just my fucking. I mean, she talked about me like I wasn't her cousin. You see, it's like she was trying to downgrade the both of us for like, oh, does your girlfriend, or how did she say it? Oh, does this you just my mom lets you have random men come over or some stupid shit like that? Acting like if I'm just some random dude, and obviously I'm related to these stupid fucks, and she has the nerves to sit there and ask you all these stupid personal questions and talk to you like you're fucking 4 or 5 and you're way older than her. You know, only making herself look very stupid. They're very low level fucking people. You know, I don't understand how you can be in a relationship with a guy, flip him off when his back is turned, tell him to go get you some food, bitch at him when he doesn't come back with something, but you're not being specific enough of what you want him to get, and then you break up, and then you do the 6 month. They do this stupid 6 month breakup bullshit every single time. Like, she'll have a miscarriage, he'll call off the engagement, then they'll get back together. And how I know all this is because Peggy goes around, she runs her big fat mouth telling everyone this shit, and then says how she can't stand Lacey, and then talks shit about Lacey, and then Lacey goes to my mom and tells my mom shit about Peggy. And then Peggy's the one saying that me and my mom have a very unstable relationship. Well, ain't that the fucking pot calling the kettle black? It's just a crock of shit, you know what I'm saying? It's a crock of fucking shit. And yeah, I put her as my thumbnail, by the way. I put fucking Lacey as my thumbnail just to be funny. Because fuck it, you know. What are they gonna do, sue me? I mean, I'm not worth anything. At least to my knowledge, I'm not a fucking billionaire. And what's the least she could do? Report this live stream to the fucking cops like the cops are gonna give a shit? I'll talk about whatever the fuck I want. I'll say whatever the fuck I want. It's my channel. If you don't like my fucking channel, then simply get the fuck off. Don't watch it. You can call me a jackass. You could call me a dick. I don't care. Like, it's my channel. I'll talk and brag all I fucking want. Cause simply for the fact of the reason I don't give any fucks, you know? I hate yeah, she's stupid to think that I'm just some random girl sitting. Yeah, what'd she think you fucking were? Some fucking slut that I picked up with me on the streets that took to my cousins to fucking do. What were we doing? It wasn't nothing sexual. You were just hugging me and just loving on me as a normal couple does. Like, did you see him and her? They didn't sit anywhere. She was getting away from him. He was getting away from her. He's sitting on one couch. She's sitting in a recliner. And they're supposed to be a couple. But the funny thing is I didn't ever see them two interacting or anything, being lovable. The only thing I saw was her kind of be a bitch to him and kind of neglect him in a way by, you know, telling him to do things and ordering him around. But he's stupid for fucking being with the cunt. Yeah, I know, baby. It's really stupid. Yeah, I'm just letting my voice be heard tonight. I'm just, you know, speaking the truth. I'm just, you know, venting and getting it all out of me because I watched that stupid live stream she did with her and her fucking dumbass brother, another buffoon, another idiot who's very incompetent, and he's just fucking so morally dumb, like fucking her and her fucking mom, and I won't ever forget that time in 2019 where that fucking idiot Travis hit me up and friended me and said, yo, you want to, you know, chat a little? And I said, yeah, sure. What's up, man? It's been a while. And we get to talking, and I asked him, I said, you know, because he lives in Conway now, or at least I knew back then he does. I don't know where the fuck he's living now. But I just won't ever forget that time, we were chatting, and I asked him, I said, is there anyone that you miss from Russellville? And he told me, he said, yes, there's a few people that come to mind that I miss from Russellville. And I was like, so, like, who comes to mind? And he told me that, he's talking about our other cousin, Jamie. And he's like, oh, I miss, Jamie. I miss hanging out with him. And I said, well, I mean, if you got a car, can't you just drive down and see him, Because Russellville, it's not too far from Conway. I mean, it's a little further out, but, he could always drive to come fucking see. And for those who don't know, my cousin Jamie lives with my grandparents, takes care of them and everything because they're old. And Travis is just this very self-centered, complex fucking douchebag who thinks he's something because he, was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, and he's been handed everything all throughout his life because my fucking grandaunt took care of him and raised him, because his real mom, the crack whore Peggy we were talking shit about, didn't fucking want him. So she sold him for money, which says everything about her. But basically, yeah, I told him, maybe you should just come out and see Jamie if you miss, talking. He's like, oh, I would. And he starts putting him down, saying, well, he's fat, and all these like different things. Like he went from talking good about him, about missing the guy, then he's like talking shit about the guy being overweight and living with his mother and all this shit. But wasn't it, last I checked, Travis, when you were 18 or 19 or 20, wasn't it you that lived with your fucking mom too? And you lived in that back room and everything, and she bought you anything you wanted, but you had to quickly earn everything by kissing your dad's ass to get in that car, and then kissing your girlfriend's fat ass, who's now your wife, that you fucking live with. And then you go on your podcast and you brag and you talk shit about a lot of people. You guys are just full of shit. You guys are fucking fake. You guys are fucking scum of society. It's people like you who, y'all would stab your own in the back if it fucking meant getting some kind of pleasure out of it. You guys are just fucking scum how you treat family. You guys are not fucking family. Y'all are a bunch of oxy fucking morons who, you're full of shit, okay? I mean, there's not much I need to really add that I haven't already said about you guys. You guys are just full of crap. You're fucking very gutless. You're not humbled about anything. You're not thankful for the things you guys got. We're out here struggling. You got relatives out here struggling and shit, trying to make it, and you fuckers are just talking shit and putting them on blast and saying that, like Peggy saying that I, ruined her mom's blanket when she knows that was an accident because there's the fucking bleach got mixed with the detergent, but that's not my fucking fault. She should be organizing shit much better so it won't lead to accidents like that, but that's her fucking fault, not mine, because why would I fucking ruin a dead person's sheet? But wasn't it her that told me no big deal, but then she turns around and goes gets her friends across the fucking street? See, there's a lot Lacey doesn't fucking know about, because I'm sure by now Peggy's already filled her head in with a lot of shit. But Lacey would have to be stupid for believing her, because this is Peggy we're talking about. And Peggy's the same person that Lacey goes and rats out to, like, people like my mom. So talks shit about all this shit about Peggy, and then goes to my mom and talks to my mom about it and shit. But then, Peggy will run her mouth and Lacey will believe it. But, it's stupid. I mean, if I had my own place and if I had my own partner and all that shit, like I once did, I wouldn't feel the need to still have something to do with a piece of shit like Peggy. I would be out living my own life, seeing what credentials and see where, life takes me, and having my own goals and everything. I don't see the fucking purpose in having something to do with a mother who neglects you, talks mad shit about you to people, and then doesn't even have the fucking nerve to say it or tell you it to your face, but will make you look like the bad guy just so she can go and make herself look like the victim. And then you got Travis, you know. They're all a bunch of idiots. Case in point, they're all idiots. They don't give a shit. They all talk outside their ass. They all, you know, seek comfort by making it look like someone's doing something wrong, but it's actually them. But then they want to, they want to seek comfort by trying to get someone's opinion or someone's help or someone's advice on something so they can make it look like, oh, but then they'll turn around and then they'll backstab you as they're seeking your comfort or seeking your help or whatever the fuck it is, And then the fake crocodile tears and the fake bullshit. Yeah, we all know about that. But, I'm not going to spend too long on this live stream. I'm just kind of sitting around. And to talk about other things besides that, I just wanted to say, I watched their stupid podcast that she did with Travis, and the bitch just no brain molecules whatsoever in her head. She tells you she can't remember how many miscarriages she's had, but yet we can remember the miscarriages we've had, but she can't remember hers. And then she's, Peggy was sitting there saying that, are you drinking? And then Lacey didn't even correct her, because we all know if you're a caring, passionate mother who's about to give birth to a child, we all know that if someone asked you if you're drinking, the first thing that would come to mind is no. What kind of ridiculous question is that? But Lacey didn't correct her. Lacey was acting like an idiot, going woo and pissing in the toilet, like while she has her mom on the phone, which is just fucking weird. They're weird. They're like all backwoods and weird and probably essentially incest. You said Lacey was eye fucking me across the room, which was weird. Kept staring back at me and shit. I don't know. Maybe she's got a thing for me. I don't know. I don't care. But she's a fucking idiot, man. Bitch got no brains, just like her mom. But anyway, I've done enough ranting and raving about those idiots for now. But but on with that. Going into different topics now. Switching the conversation. I've been looking up a lot of Mortal Kombat stuff lately. I know the new Mortal Kombat movie is dropping in theaters. The second one, I own the first one that came out in 2021. So I'll be looking forward into watching the second one, and Johnny Cage is going to be in it, and also Shao Kahn. So they're basically basing these movies off the classic games. Like Shang Tsung was the villain in the first movie, which he was in the first game. Shao Kahn's going to be the villain in the second movie, like he was in the second game. So I'm looking forward to Shao Kahn and seeing a live action version of Shao Kahn. I mean, we got a version of him in the 90s, but I didn't watch those 90s flicks because, hell, I wasn't even alive. I wasn't born until 2001. But I did see some clips of the 90s Mortal Kombat, which was fairly good in its own right for its time. I just feel like now with modern technology and CGI, they can probably make it look even 10 times better to make it look more accurate like the game. So I'm kind of happy about that. I'm looking really forward to seeing, but I don't know what Scorpion they're going to go with now that the video game is got the characters' names all switched. I don't know if we're going to get Hanzo Scorpion again or we're going to get Kuai Ling Scorpion now. I don't know, but I'd be looking really forward into seeing what direction they go in. With the continuity and stuff, if they're going to canonize, if they're going to make it like canon to the game, that would be cool, but I don't know if they're basing it off the original games or the newer games. I don't know. Mortal Kombat is a very interesting storytelling and that's pretty cool. They're making Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah, I mean, hey, it is cool they're making Mortal Kombat 2. Like I said, I'd be very interested in seeing where the direction goes in that, because Mortal Kombat's not going to be the typical kind of action movie. You're going to be suspecting blood, violence, and gore, just like you did with the first movie. Hell, this time around it might be even more gory. But I like the first movie, but the argument to that is I would probably say that the second movie probably might be better, but I can't really predict it because I ain't seen it. But you gotta know if a Mortal Kombat's got Shao Kahn in it, you gotta know, just from a personal fan take, it's gonna be pretty damn good, I imagine, because Shao Kahn is a very likable villain. I mean, he's been with the Mortal Kombat fucking trilogy since pretty much day one, since the release of the second game back in the fucking early 90s, which I believe the second Mortal Kombat came out, and I want to say 1993, and I think the first one came out in 1991. I could be wrong. I don't know how accurate I am on that, but I would say somewhere around there, yeah. But, you know, those Mortal Kombat games from the 90s, early 90s to late 90s to 2000s, man, those were the fucking... Back when Midway was around and they were doing the games. Like, I got original Xbox. That's what I currently own right now, and I'm going to get Deadly Alliance. You know, I'm going to get Deadly Alliance for sure. Because, I want to honestly play that game. I played Mortal Kombat Deception. I've played Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and I played a lot of the Mortal Kombat games. There's one called Shaolin Monks. I played that. I played Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat... I don't think I played Mortal Kombat X, no, but I played Mortal Kombat 11. I played Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, which that was the one we all remembered as kids, was Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. For a lot of us 2000 kids, is Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. It wasn't really a good game, but for its time, it was somewhat decent. I think they could have been better, but the Midway company was going out of business when the game was being developed, and it was actually Midway's last game too. But it would have been really cool if we would have gotten a Mortal Kombat DC 2. But like I said, I don't think that will ever happen. If anything, maybe a remastered. But I don't ever think we'll get a second one. But it was a good game for the benefit of the characters taking inspiration from both the DC and Mortal Kombat universe through the arcade story mode. And it wasn't, you know, Mortal Kombat versus DC was not, as said, as good as all the other Mortal Kombats that came before it or came after it. It was one of those games that was like a rare breed. It wasn't like a, you know, the best installment of a game of crossover. It was kind of just, it was just a, how do I put it? It was a more watered down version of the traditional Mortal Kombat. There wasn't too much blood, too much gore in it, and the fatalities were not as gruesome because they really couldn't make the game violent because of the DC interaction with the MK Mortal Kombat characters. So I really don't see the purpose of why the game got made. But looking back now, it's part of the Mortal Kombat legacy. It's just something that most fans kind of don't talk about due to the poor quality of the game's graphics and development. But overall, it was still an interesting game for its time. I think other Mortal Kombat games has surpassed it. Say like MK9 or MKX or MK11. Or the ones before it, like, you know, Mortal Kombat Deception, Armageddon, Deadly Alliance, all that shit. But the reason I want to get Deadly Alliance is because I played it back in the day, and that was one of my favorite ones to play. I did own Deception on the PS2 back when I had that, and I still had my PS3 and all that. I had Deception and all that, and Armageddon. But if I really have to be honest with you, I think for my Midway Mortal Kombat games that I like the most, I think Armageddon would probably, out of all the Midway games that they made, I want to say Armageddon would probably be my favorite. Because I enjoy playing as the character Taven. Taven and Dagon, which are the two brothers and shit. But yeah, Dagon's the bad one, Taven's the good guy, and then the bad guy in that game is Blaze. But I like how Mortal Kombat Armageddon had this open world feel to it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get Deadly Alliance though for the Xbox, just because I like the old retro stuff. You can't go wrong with it. Yeah. I wonder when they're going to make another Injustice 3. That would be really cool. But then again, I don't own a new console. I'm old school, folks. I mean, a PS4 I will get someday. I used to own an Xbox One. I got that when that first released back in like 2014, 13, whenever it got released, and it was a good game. It was a good, the graphics and everything to it was good, but the requirement of the internet, and that's what I don't like about the newer consoles, because it's all this updated shit. I'll be like, oh, you got to have Wi-Fi to update the console. With me, I just like to hop on a game and play. That's why I go back to the olden days of like the original Xbox, PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, just the old days where you didn't have to acquire all this internet bullshit or whatever you call it. It's just, it is what it is. It's, but yeah, I like to see what other games they come out with and see where it all goes and stuff. But it would be pretty cool. By the way, did you see the thumbnail I put? I don't know if you saw the thumbnail of the live stream, but yeah, you got to see the thumbnail. I ain't gonna say who the thumbnail is, but you'll recognize the face. Yeah, I'm very very good at editing shit. So, because there's this app I go to on Google, it's this face editing swap thing. So yeah, hey, you'll see this shit. You'll see the thing I made, the picture I put. I need to get a new phone. My phone I've had since 2020, man. This is 2025. This is the longest goddamn phone I've ever had. And a lot of people would go, why the fuck do you not upgrade? I'm like, well, I don't even know, man. Like, I've had phones in the past that that would break down, whatever, and I'll get new ones, but I don't know. I guess I don't really care. I don't know. I try not to be on my phone as much, but I am on my phone as much. I do watch YouTube a lot. But I'm trying to get a part-time job. I'm trying to get a part-time job as a janitor. But, it is what it is, I guess. Whatever. And I know I don't have my camera on and everything. But I am in a dark room, but this is like my comfort zone. I like, just getting words out, and just, I'm not all about, wanting to be on camera and all that. Sometimes I just might want to just be off camera just for the sake of it. Maybe it's just because I want to just sit here and not, show myself. I don't know. It's not that I don't care to show myself. I've showed myself on live streams before in the past with people and, friends and whatnot back on the day, way back in the day, like 2019, 2020, 2021. But I don't have Facebook. I'm retired from that shit. I'll never have Facebook again. Or fucking Instagram or any of that shit. I like YouTube. YouTube's a little bit more on the low-key side of things. There's not no bullshit on here, and if there is, it's easy to just avoid it. Whereas Facebook, you'll have 100 people go and harass you, stalk you, and I don't miss that shit. I'd rather sell my fucking soul to Satan himself, even though I don't believe in Satan or God because I'm a fucking atheist. I would rather sell my soul, if I could sell my soul, I'd rather sell it, than fucking rejoin Facebook. Yeah, exactly. You know, I like seeing dim lights and stuff. I don't like all the bright shit. And sometimes this is like very laid back and chill. You know, that's Alfred's cage up there. Excuse me, I'm yawning. I'm fucking tired, man. Getting tired. But, you know, I'm just sitting here right now. You know, too bad I can't put no background noise. That would be funny. Like, imagine if I could make crickets appear on the background and you could hear the outside. You know, I would open my window, but I'm afraid to because we have raccoons and shit. I saw a raccoon a few weeks ago walk past my window. It was weird, but yeah, I don't open my window or anything. Even knowing I have a scream on it, they can still get get in. So yeah. But anyway, I'm just sitting here right now, kind of fucking tired and whatnot. But I think I'm gonna head off here, and I'm gonna tell you I love you and good night, and thank you for joining, and I'll talk to you in the morning and everything, and just have a good night. All right, love you, and I'm gonna okay, love you too. All right, peace.